I feel like ever since 2021, blush has been such a pervasive element of the beauty space. Like there hasn't been, I feel like, a single season since like 2021 when there hasn't been a new blush release, a new blush formula, some sort of new blush format. Blush will not go away. It feels like we can't get enough of blush. And when I look at my cheek product collection, and when you look at that video on my YouTube channel, my most recent cheek product collection video, clearly I agree. We can't get enough of blush and we want all of it. So it got me thinking a little bit further. Are there formulas out there that I would want to have the entire line of that particular cream blush product? I'm thinking specifically of cream blushes, which I also feel like since 2021 have become even more prevalent. And I feel like almost every makeup brand has some sort of cream blush product or liquid blush product. I feel like creams and liquids have become more and more popular over time. And it feels like overall the general population feels more and more comfortable using them. Today, I want to share with you some of my favorite cream and liquid blush formulas that, come to think about it, I would actually love to own the entire product line, or at least all the shades that agree with my skin tone. Let's get going. So let's start with the liquid blushes first. And this one might kind of be a bit controversial because a lot of people don't use this as a blush, but there are actual blush products in this same format. So we're gonna start here, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury light wands, or we're gonna call them blush wands because there are matte blush ones, and then there are the beauty light ones, which are either highlighters or very luminous blushes. I have this mini beauty light one in the shade Pinkgasm. I know that there are others, and I also know that there are some people that use this as a highlighter, but on me, on my skin tone, I personally think that it works better as a very luminous, glowy blush or blush highlighter. Charlotte Tilbury knocks it out of the park with these light wands, with this liquid blush formula. It is just spectacular on the cheeks. I love to use this as a blush on its own or as a blush topper. And ever since they came out, I actually kind of have not stopped thinking about the beauty light ones. I'm sorry, the matte blush ones. And I think that the only shade that probably doesn't work with me is Pink Pop. I'll try to put pictures of some of the swatches of the matte blush ones. They've gotten such favorable reviews, and people that have tried them comment on the fact that they're actually not like a flat matte. It's more like a natural radiant finish, which is like right up my alley. This is more luminous than a natural radiant finish, but it can be worked down to a really soft wash of color that is natural radiance. And it's just such an intuitive product, such a beautiful finish that doesn't accentuate texture in terrible ways, at least not on me, and just beautiful color payoff, great lasting power. I also know that there are a couple of other shades of the beauty light ones. I know that there's like Pinkgasm, this is Pinkgasm. I know that there's like Pinkgasm Sunset or something like that. I want everything that Charlotte Tilbury has ever made in this format that is a blush or a highlighter. I want all of them, honestly, all of them, except for Pink Pop. But I could be easily convinced that maybe I need it if I swatch it in store and it works. But it's such a great formula, so easy to use, and leaves such refined color on the cheeks. It looks so natural. It's the way that I think about Charlotte Tilbury makeup is Oscar's red carpet. To me, that's what it gives. You want your skin to look like you're ready for the Oscars and have like beautiful, glamorous makeup that enhances your natural features and just makes you look healthy with perfect or as flawless as possible skin, like someone that gets a lot of great facials and treatments and stuff. I love Charlotte Tilbury for that reason, and the beauty light wands, or at least these blush kind of wands, are yes, entirely product line worthy for me. I only have this mini Pinkgasm, and I have a backup for this because this one's almost dried down and almost empty. But yes, I would absolutely buy some of the matte blush ones. I wish that she would do like holiday sets of those. Maybe she'll do mini blush ones, Charlotte. Think about it. For the holiday, maybe a set of mini blush wands. I would love that. That would be amazing. Because I also think that Charlotte Tilbury minis are a great way to try the brand because they actually have quite a bit of product, but it's a more accessible price point, and it will give you a lot of time to try the product, gather your thoughts on it, and decide whether you like it or not and you want the full product. Even when I know that I want the full product, I'm still in some product categories inclined to buy the minis because I'm just gonna go through them faster. But it's the same great quality of Charlotte Tilbury, and yeah, like blush ones, beauty light ones, I want all of them. I want absolutely all of them. I'm not buying all of them right now, but I want them, and I can express that desire to you. Let's talk about the next formula. I can't believe I'm saying this because when I first started using this blush, I was like, this is absolutely not for me. It's too messy, it's too difficult. I'm never gonna get the hang of it. And now I think I really appreciate the product for how straightforward it is and how easy to use it is and how versatile it can be, and of course for the finish that it leaves on the cheeks, and is the Glossier Cloud Paint. This is the shade Spark. I now realize that maybe this shouldn't have been my first shade because it's red. It's like tomato red, okay? And you know, the Glossier Cloud Paint is made to be a very pigmented product, but over time, and you can see that I'm almost halfway through the tube, I've learned to use this product. I've learned to use just the right amount for me. I've learned how to mix it with a cream bronzer to get a really nice look. I've also used it for like the sunset blush trend that was going on earlier this year, like mix the red with like a brighter pink, and it looks beautiful. This is also not super radiant, so it goes well with other finishes without competing or stealing other blushes' thunder if you're gonna mix formulas. So it's a product that, even though I feel like it does take a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to use in a way that works for you individually, I think that it is a very well formulated product, and the colors are really unique in the way that they reflect themselves in different skin tones. So I only have this one. I think that the only one that probably doesn't work for me, again, is gonna be like the very pale pink that has a lot of a white base. I think that one's called Buff, something like that. But once again, I could change my mind if I swatch it in store and see what it looks like in my skin tone. I'm just saying from like online pictures, online swatches, it just looks really milky, for lack of a better word. So Buff is like a shade that I'm pretty sure wouldn't work for me. I'm also really curious to try the bronzer formula of this, although the idea of a liquid bronzer still kind of scares me. But do I think this is product line worthy, like buying the whole product line? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, I didn't swatch the Cloud Paint. Let me swatch the Cloud Paint. Okay, let's try to swatch the Cloud Paint in a way that doesn't involve a crap ton of product. I think I did it. I think I made it. There's the Glossier Cloud Paint. Like, yes, it's really red, but you can, if you use just a little bit of product, I think that you can get it to a place where it almost looks like a berry, like a strawberry, not so much like a tomato. We're using the produce analogies here. It's a really, really beautiful color. I use the tiniest dot here, and you can see it in my finger as well. Just measure your Cloud Paint. Don't go too hard, too fast. Put it in your hand, pick it up with a brush, and then apply to the cheeks. Like, do not put a dot on the cheeks because it's gonna be really hard to move around because it dries down rather fast. But it is a beautiful shade, and I actually think after using the Cloud Paint for a couple of years now that it is entire product line worthy. They are that good. Next up, let's go with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. What are these called? They just say Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. This is the shade Jubilee. These are cream blushes. And I know that there's like a patented kind of technology that Danessa Myricks put on these called Oxalite. I think that she has this in some of her other products. For my skin tone, Jubilee is a perfect nude blush. There it is. Look at the level of pigmentation that gives you. It's amazing, and it's just my fingertip. Like, this goes a long way, and these last so long. I put these through an accidental 10-hour wear test the first time I wore them. I went to brunch and then karaoke and then Korean barbecue, so I had like steam on my face, and that blush was intact by the time I returned to my hotel. I was like, wait, what? Excuse me? And it was spring, so it was already kind of warm over here in the Middle East. This formula is fantastic. And these are so creamy, natural radiant finish. I really think that the formula also, because it's not too terribly slippy, would work really well for both dry and oily skin types. If you are oily and you own any of those blushes, can you let me know in the comments what your experience has been like? Because I think that it would be fine because of the way that the formula is made. It's creamy, but it's not balmy. It has like a little bit of grip. So I imagine that it would still hold in an oily skin. Most, if not all, of the shades in this product line I think would work with my skin tone, because that's the Danessa Myricks way. She makes very, very inclusive product lines and very inclusive shade ranges. And yes, I would buy all of them. I know that she's been releasing some minis in sets. So if I could try maybe 1 or 2 of the shades in the future, if I can find them in minis, I would love that. I expect this to last me a really long time because it is really pigmented. So you kind of have to, you know, be careful with application, especially if you're applying it with natural bristle brushes. Just saying that. Natural brushes are gonna pick up more of this product and you might end up with a lot more pigment on your cheek than you want. It is very easy to work and you will have time to distribute it and blend it really well. But just saying, these are pigmented, tread carefully, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous finish on the cheeks. I would love to own every single one of these. Next up, let's go into the Tower 28 Beach Please Cream Blushes. I already finished a whole component of these. I finished Magic Hour last year and I still have Happy Hour. I use Happy Hour a bunch in the spring to do the Sunset Blush trend. I actually did it for my Miami Grand Prix preview over here on the channel. If you want to see the look, just the makeup look, and even if you're not interested in the racing, I'll leave the video linked in the card. This is a slightly more sticky formula. There it is, Happy Hour. It's like a true pink. Like I feel like this is a pretty Barbie pink, and I think it came out not too long before the movie and that kind of thing. But the formula is very resilient. Like it stays, it sticks, and it sticks without being sticky on your face. Like that's the thing. It dries down, but it doesn't dry down entirely. So you're still gonna get dew, but it's not gonna be heavy, sticky, or uncomfortable in your face in a way that like you're gonna feel the blush there. At least that's been my experience. Great formula, very durable. They do have quite a bit of lasting power. Magic Hour is like a perfect everyday subtle blush for a lot of skin tones, in my opinion. So worth checking out. And this one, Happy Hour, if I want an uplift on my cheeks and I want like to see pink cheeks, which I personally love because I think they look great on me, this is definitely a go-to. I would love to try every single one of these. I know that there are a couple of deeper shades and also like more nude shades. So yeah, definitely one that I keep in mind when I want a cream blush. Totally whole product line worthy, Tower 28. They're also great at like making fantastic products. Like it's a really, really solid brand in my opinion. Next up, we're gonna talk about these 2 different finishes in tandem just because they're from the same brand. And it's the Putty Blush and Luminous Putty Blush line from e.l.f. So the Putty Blush is a matte finish like the name says. I have the shade Fiji, which is another red, but this one is slightly less red in my opinion than the Glossier Cloud Paint. This one like leans a little bit more terracotta for me. And here it is. And here's a Glossier. Is that the Glossier? No, this is a Glossier, sorry. Here's the e.l.f., here's a Glossier. See, this is a more muted red. And I think that makes it a little bit more, a little bit easier to manipulate for a variety of skin tones. Also, this is a cream to powder finish. So you are not gonna get stickiness on your face if you are concerned about that with cream blushes. And again, you get great color payoff. Here it is. A very, very easy to use formula. I recommend synthetic brushes with this one, I think, Natural brushes apply well, but I have had some episodes of patchiness with those. So I think that for this one, I think that synthetic brushes have given me the best application. But if you like a matte cream blush, I really do think that it is a solid formula. I've seen a whole bunch of the shades online, and I've seen other people with a similar skin tone to mine review other shades. And based on those things, I actually think that the vast majority of the product line would work for me. They are very affordable. They have a twist cap. So like, they're gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder for these to dry down if you close them carefully. And they're very easy to transport, like a great travel option in my opinion. If you wanna just take one blush, find a shade that you will, wear for the entire trip, and I would just take one. And the same could be said for the Luminous Putty Blush, because this is the shade Isla del Sol. It's more orange. This has like some pink hues that took me a long time to actually capture, but it also has like some coral. Like this is to me a more like it's a shade that has a little bit more like multi-dimension to it. It's not just like one straight color, right? So I really appreciate it for that reason, but also you can really modulate those to a really subdued finish. At first, I wasn't fully convinced when I started seeing reviews, because the reviews on the luminous putty blushes have been more mixed than the reviews on the matte putty blushes. But the more I use it, the more I like it. And it's not super luminous. It just has a little bit of shine. Like these are not like the luminous kind of shine that you have from like those Rare Beauty luminous blushes that released at the end of last year. Like it's not like that at all. It's just a little bit of shine, just a little bit of like light reflectivity with pigment that will last for a long time. So yes, both the putty blushes and the luminous putty blushes from e.l.f. are whole line worthy for me. Absolutely. And last but not least, a cream formula that I would probably be crucified if I didn't put it here, the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I mean, I am probably the last person to try these, but I don't care. They really are a remarkable product. I have two minis. I have the shades Virtue and Wisdom, which are also like really universal shades in my opinion. Like I think that these could work across a pretty good variety of skin tones. This is Virtue, this is Wisdom. Do you see the patterns of behavior here? I have a type. Don't I? I have a type. But very easy to use formula, very easy to work with. Yes, they dry down. Yes, they have pigment, but the formula is very, very flexible and it gives you time. It gives you time to work with them. There they are, a little bit more spread, those swatches. Sorry, my arm is a little hairy. And they're like on the spot where my watch goes, see the tan line. But Virtue and Wisdom, just beautiful shades that accommodate a lot of skin tones in my opinion, and allow you to get either a really strong pigmented look if you really want to build it up, because they're really easy to build up, or a really natural, radiant, everyday look. Even though these are matte, they don't dry down matte, they dry down natural, radiant. And a little bit goes a long way. You can stretch that pigment, like really, really stretch it like bubble gum. Okay, so don't be fooled by the size. These are gonna last you a while. People are already starting to talk about holiday sales. I hope that there are holiday sets with liquid blushes and liquid highlighters again, or with something, mini Rare Beauty sets of something, because I think that they are a great way to try a couple of products from the brand, give them enough time, and really get a great value for it. I was actually watching Amanda Z's video yesterday where she was comparing the e.l.f. liquid blushes to these, and she was talking about how like the value of the full size e.l.f. liquid blush is pretty comparable to these, but these are more, I mean, they're like similarly pigmented, but it's not like, oh, the e.l.f. is that much of a better value or whatever. If you want to try the Rare Beauty formula, which is really phenomenal, I highly recommend it. The minis I think are good value for money, and you're gonna get the same shades that you get in the full sizes. I think that they have the entire product line in both mini and full sizes, but if not, maybe waiting for the holiday set could be a good idea. That's what I did, and now I love them and I want all of them. But I'm trying to not buy makeup like crazy this year because I want to make sure that A, I'm using the makeup that I have, B, pay attention to other financial goals, and C, that I can pack all my makeup at the end of the academic year. However, if I find myself in my forever home or in a place where I'm going to be 10 plus years and I continue to have disposable income while still making progress in other goals financially, you never know. I could engage in tomfoolery and get the product line, the entire product line, for all of these things that I mentioned. Because turns out that cream blush is pretty amazing. I had never tried liquid blush, cream blush, until like 2021. And I love it now. Like my usage of cream and liquid blush versus my usage of powder blush, like the difference is abysmal. I don't feel great about it because it does mean that my powder blushes are like not getting as much use as they should. That'll change in the fall, winter. That's like the natural cycle that I go through. I use cream and liquid more in the spring, summer, and then I switch back to powders in fall, winter. I don't really know why. Is there a reason for that? Do you know? Let me know. But I just thought that I would share these cream liquid blush formulas that I love and that I actually think would be worth the entire product line. Paying for the entire product line, I think would be a worthy investment on any of these. Are any of these any of your favorites? Let me know in the comments. If you have a favorite shade that I didn't mention or didn't show here in any of these blush formulas, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear other cream liquid blush formulas that you love and I probably haven't tried, because I know that there are a lot of them. I know that there's cream liquid blush exploding out of everybody's ears for the last 3 years. So yeah, I would love to try others in the future. But like these over here, I would love to own like the entire collection, have them all like lined up, all beautiful in my vanity so I could use all of the colors. Yes, I would love it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it interesting or helpful, whether you're considering a new cream blush formula or maybe thinking about whether you should explore another shade of one of these favorites or even another favorite that is not mentioned here. Thank you once again for joining me in my adventures with beauty. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so that you can see me on the next one. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.